And welcome back to another edition of the Sandshark Rewind. I'm your host, Bracken Lambert, alongside my guy, Wes Kerr. Wes, it was a full day yesterday. Absolutely crazy day from start to finish, but it was a good day overall. A lot of events going on around the Loco, the Sandshark 17th annual Sandshark Invitational, and women's soccer versus Georgia College. So that was a huge weekend for us here in the Loco.
Busy day, but a rewarding one, and so great to have that Sandshark Invitational back. It's a fantastic event. Seeing some quality squads from across the Southeast compete right here in the Low Country, that's a special treat for all of us. So definitely, thank everyone who was involved in putting that on, and great work from yourself and everyone here at this USCB athletic program with the ability to put on a quality event for the Low Country at large, but also the opportunity for several other schools to, continue to prepare and get ready for these big meets ahead and produce a quality event. And you guys certainly did that, and then come right back around and watching a terrific women's soccer match in the afternoon against Georgia College.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great day overall.
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about the 17th annual Sandshark Invitational here in just a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, that was a slew of teams all the way from Division I to NAIA schools. A little bit of a homecoming for Coach Harris as well, because where she was a grad assistant at Southeastern, their team came up. So it was also a really cool experience for her to get that first real big cross-country meet in here in Bluffton/Hardyville. But let's transition to our special guest tonight. We have the all-time winningest goalkeeper. She has every single goalkeeper record besides saves, which will probably stay with Chelsea Jones. But we're going to bring in our senior goalkeeper, Emily Worrell. Em, how's it going?
It's going good.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight. And I know we give you all the accolades and all that kind of stuff. We've talked about it before, but this is your senior year. You have been one of the key pieces across this team for the last 4 years. Let's just pull up. I texted it to you a little bit earlier. A career record of 26, 12, and 5. You have the all-time leading. You have the most wins in school history, 15 career shutouts, 182 saves. You faced 363 shots over your career, and you're closing in on 4,000 minutes between the pipes. Just absolutely unreal. You have allowed only 37 goals in your career, and most of them came your sophomore and junior year. But this year you have only allowed 1. So how does that feel? I mean, that's a pretty epic stat number to have.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really, I would never expected to have, good stats like that. It's hard to explain. It's, unreal.
What a fantastic career that you've had here at USCB, and so proud to be a part of it. Being on the call these last few seasons to witness some of your amazing moments throughout your Sandshark career. Not done yet. And add another shutout to the clean sheet to your total, because you made a couple of dazzling saves to preserve the points that your team acquired in a hard-fought 0-0 result against Georgia College. And, tell me about that game on Saturday. I mean, just a really defensively played match, and you guys worked hard defensively throughout those 90 minutes, and then got some opportunities late, one almost going in the 90th minute from Sidney Anderson, almost getting another dramatic victory. But just tell me about that match on Saturday and how hard this team worked, and also just how difficult and tough each match is in this league.
They're all difficult. I mean, our one struggle right now is getting goals, and we've been doing that and practicing that at practice all week. And I mean, we're there. I feel like it's going to come eventually, but the defense, we've just been. I can't thank my defenders enough. I'm the one in the goal, but they're the ones in front of me helping all of that. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, the back line, you get to play in front of a couple of your, senior teammates with Aaliyah and Adriana. Both of them, they've been with you for 4 years, so you've played with them. I mean, again, I kind of just looked at your numbers. You played 8 games your freshman year, then you played 18 your sophomore year, 15 last year, and then you're up to 8 this year. So, and you've had them behind you most of those games. So how does that feel to have that team camaraderie? That those two right there have obviously been center backs and have been a key part of the defense, as have you. So tell me a little bit about how you feel about having them, how much trust you have in them. But then also we're going to talk a little bit about the new freshies over on the ends on the wing with Kate and Lauren.
Yeah, it's great having A and Lee back there. It's like I know how they're gonna play. I know if I just look at A, I just know I can roll her the ball. If I look at Lee, I just know it's like we read each other's minds. We know what we're doing back there. They trust me, I trust them. So it works. It just everything clicks better.
And then Kate and Lauren, adding those two, you lose Marcella last year, who was a very key part of the defense last year. But then you add in Kate on the right side, you add Lauren on the left. How does that, how do you feel those two have done this season, bringing them in? And, you guys have had to go through a big change with Dan taking over the program after being with Jay for the last 3 years. So adding those key pieces, I mean, I think this is probably one of, if not one of the top defensive lines we've ever had.
Yeah, no, they're great. They're amazing freshmen. They came right in. They just knew what they had to do, and then there's really Kate and Lauren. They're solid.
That's all. That's perfect.
I mean, it's great to see these younger players step in immediately and produce, and then that veteran line, back line. Aaliyah White has been phenomenal, and then so has Adriana Martin, Molly Kerr, another really unsung hero of this team. Terrific defender. She can get aggressive at times, but definitely very skilled in the way she can make tackles and steal the ball away at opportune times. So, and then you mentioned Lauren Carmichael stepping in, being a starter in the lineup against Georgia College and performing very well. So I echo that sentiment. It's been a terrific improvement, even more so over what we have had with. It's just a great addition to what we already have as you go forward as a team. But I want to hear more about Coach Huff. And he was, I believe, a goalie coach in a way. Like he worked with you and the other goalkeepers throughout his tenure last year. And so just talk about your relationship with him and how he's helped you in terms of your game and how he's guided the team overall so far in his first season at the helm.
Yeah, he's a great coach. He really is. I mean, when we found out he was going to be our head coach, we were a little like us goalies. We were like, oh, that sucks for us because we got really close with him. Our trainings were awesome, but now he's come in. He knows what he's talking about. Like I've said it to teammates. Like he can read the field so well, like better than you'd expect. Like I mean, he's 2 years out of college. Like he's a great coach for his only 2 years in. Like. Can't ask for anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also a sense of being comfortable. You guys, you've had 3 different goalie coaches now in 3 years. Well, was Brian the goalie coach your freshman year?
No, that was someone else. It's not. Okay. I've had 4.
So you've had 4 different goalie coaches the last 4 years. But at least, you had Jay for 3 years. So that gives you that sense of, I'm losing my words a little bit, but then you've had Dan for the last 2. And you're right. Dan has a great vision for the field and he's done a great job so far. I think, a couple of games here and there where we're like, man, we should have had that one. But I mean, overall, we're tied atop the PBC standings. I mean, my goodness, we're tied with North Georgia with 10 points. We still have a few teams to play, Clayton State and Columbus State, who are right now at 3 and 4. I think it's kind of a good thing. Knock that first that first really tough game out early in the year and try to pick up those key wins when we did. So you've been a big part of that. You made a couple of really big saves there on the road last weekend against Aiken, and helped lead us to that win. That 89th minute, Sin gets the header, and we almost had another 89th minute.
Yep.
There, when you saw that, I mean, I looked at the stats and it was right down 30 seconds left. What did you think? Did you? I obviously was watching the play, but when you saw that happen and you saw her break free, did you say, "Oh my God, here it is! It's going to happen again"?
Oh, yeah, I was jumping. I do this thing. I'll be jumping. I'll be going sideways, like following the ball up the field. Like it's, I go crazy, and then we don't get that goal. It's like but I was excited. I thought it was going in for sure.
Yeah, and on Saturday, I mean, what a crazy last minute, and it looked like we were going to see some more Sin by Anderson magic there at the end. And once again, you made two terrific saves throughout that match to keep it scoreless and earn that point, and almost earn three if Sin would have netted that last goal. That would be the first goal in the game and the deciding goal if she had gotten it. But yeah, just take me through that game on Saturday and how you made those two key stops to keep it scoreless, and how the team kind of, it felt like they gained some more energy as it went on. I think the start was a little up and down, but I think as the game went on, you guys really started to get a second wind of energy and almost got that winning goal.
Yeah, I mean it's reflex making those saves at this point. Like it's like the one that I did that Lee passed back to me. I didn't even realize that I didn't even realize in the moment. I was like, as soon as I did it, I knew I messed up. But had I not done that, it would have went in. So I mean, that's one of those situations where it's like not what I'm supposed to do, but
Oh, I know. We saw that, and I think everybody, you could see everybody out of the peripheral vision right there at the press tent, and everyone just kind of went, "Oh." Head went down for a split second. Dan just put his hands on his head, and it was. I mean, but you know what? Credit where credit's due, and it also takes the opposing team to score the goal, and it was a close shot. I mean, man, it was right over the crossbar, but close as horseshoes and hand grenades. It didn't go in. So one of the things I liked most about yesterday's game was seeing how aggressive you were in terms of punching the ball out on corner kicks and getting out there and being really physical, because we haven't had to do that a lot. We haven't really been out cornered at all this season, and they really did out corner us there throughout the game. And you were able to go up there and use that entire frame and expand and punch those balls out. And then, again, you can't give enough credit to the back line. Adriana, Lee, Kate, and Lauren all getting out there and pushing those balls out. So, but hey, a point's a point. You get it. You stay atop the standings, and you get there, and then you welcome. This is how we're transitioning into Lander on Wednesday. And so we played them twice last year. They've had a lot of games rained out or canceled or moved or postponed because of all of the horrific weather we've had down here in the Low Country. Thank goodness that Hurricane Martin, I think it was Hurricane Martin. There's so many of them now you don't know. Milton, there it is. Who we haven't been affected too much by that except for the North Georgia game. So as we move and we welcome Lander on Wednesday, what's your game plan? And we know that it's a key game. You get a win, you get 3 more points, and you've got a really good shot to you're looking at it there, and that matches our win total from last year with 4 conference wins. Or you pick up 1 point with a tie. So I mean, obviously you want the win, but would be satisfied with a tie.
Yeah, I mean we're used to tying Lander, so good thing we can do PKs this time. But
I mean, hey, to be fair, last year's that went 2 rounds of PKs.
Yep.
You can't be expected to make every single save, and it was, and we had the chance. At that point, you made the big save that you needed, and then it was up to your teammates to score the goal. So, and it unfortunately just didn't go our way. Would have been great. Would have been absolutely great. But
Oh yeah.
it again, horseshoes and hand grenades. How close it was.
Emily, you've been part of this team for a while. You've come up through this transition from playing in the NAIA to now playing in Peach Belt, and you've played the majority of your time now in this Peach Belt conference. So, just talk about your journey as a Sand Shark and how the team around you has improved, and how you've seen some incredible talent like of course Mari, but some others come across, and how they've inspired you to become a better player at your position.
Yeah, I mean, coming in freshman year, we were NAIA. We were playing. There was tough teams. I think we could have done better as a team. And each year, our teams improved. I'd say we're probably best we've been lately. Like, I mean, we are missing a key factor of Mari. Like, I was talking to Bracken the other day about it. Like these goals, but it's just been. It just gets better every year. Really.
Yeah, it's great. You've made the transition seamlessly, especially your sophomore year where you won 4 Peach Belt Conference Goalkeeper of the Week awards, multiple Continental Athletic Conference awards, and then last year you picked up one, and you picked up one again this year. And honestly, I think you very much could win it tomorrow as well. Definitely putting you up for Goalkeeper of the Week. So let's hope that we get another one and we get an opportunity to keep on seeing, and we'll just keep this year going. So
right.
But Em, I want to thank you for your time. I know it's valuable. You got to get ready for class tomorrow. Doesn't matter if your classes are online.
Yeah.
Go to class. But thank you, Em. We appreciate you, and we'll catch up with you later this week.
Yep. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Emily Worrell, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Wes, we can probably talk an entire episode about Emily. She's done a great job in her career. Again, all-time leader in wins, shutouts, goals against average, career wins. I mean, anything, every stat
any stat for goalkeeping, she's going to be right there at the top. Right. I think the saves statistic will stay with the current record holder, but Emily has pretty much done everything that this team is asked of her to do. And I just look back at what you mentioned in 2022 when she went on an incredible run to start the year, and that momentum really carried that team as they went throughout that season, took a big step forward, and that would not have been possible without the terrific goalkeeping of Worrell, because there was a little competition for that job. Like there were others that we were talking about that we weren't sure who was going to take over and be that key producer between the pipes, and Emily just kind of ran with it, and ever since then she has been that key producer in net. And so just all props to her for how she has consistently played, and record holder in pretty much every statistical category. Is someone that will make you one of the better players at your position, if not the best in history of this program so far. So the backbone of this team, obviously, when you talk about a goalkeeper, you have to talk about defense in front of her, and they have, as you said, have done a spectacular job. And to have that consistency with those top players in terms of Aaliyah and Adriana, who have been around here for a while. Molly's been here for a few years now, so she's used to playing behind that back line, which just continues up at every passing week, it seems. And you mentioned the game a week ago against North Georgia where you lose 1-0. One mistake kind of missed the difference in that game, and if that didn't happen, you were right with the top team in this conference. And this defense continues to impress and continuing to deliver, and helping her as we're all certainly had to earn it. She had to make 2 brilliant saves to keep that shutout intact on Saturday, and she's earning the success, and she absolutely is. And it's a team effort at the end of the day, but she has been a big reason why the direction of this program is where it is right now. It started 2 years ago, then it's just continuing to heighten, and you have to have a great goalkeeper. And she, as you said, I agree. She did everything she could in that postseason game a year ago. Just the chips didn't fall in the right spots at the end of the day in that penalty kick shootout. But just really impressed by the way she competes, the way she stays focused, and the way she just kind of digs in there when this team has really needed her to do so. You mentioned the big saves that she had to help set up the Aiken winner. That's a huge 3 points. If one of those goes back in the back of the net and she's unable to make the save, it's a completely different situation within the standings now. I mean, she's put this team with a great chance of getting that top 4 spot, potentially hosting a tournament game at this point. Obviously, some more work to be done. Huge games upcoming. Lander is going to be enormous, and then Flagler as well. I mean, those are 2 games that are against solid teams that they haven't been on as high of a star as they would have wanted to, and which makes these games even that more important for USCB to get results out of, because you can't really discount any of these teams in this conference. Even the Albany State game, they had to work for was a 3-2 win, and it was tense till the very end. So there really isn't any easy matchup in this conference at all.
Yeah, no. Yeah, there's really not. You've got Columbus State, who's the number 3 team in the country, who we'll welcome as the last regular season game, and then hopefully at that point we're still looking at hosting a playoff game, and that's we got a little bit of help in the standings, and now you can kind of start looking at the rest of the schedule and saying, hey, where can we fall with that?
That would be a good target. That's a good target at this point, is to get that top 4
game.
That's a good target to aim for. And it gives you home field advantage is everything in the postseason if you can get it, and it's just to finish in the top half and to get that top 4 spot, heading into your first year as a full-time Peach Belt member next year. And that's a great place to be. And I think these Flagler and Lander games are going to be the ones that are really telling. If you can get 4 out of the 6 points, I'd say they would be in great position going forward to try to achieve it. Obviously, you want to get as many points as possible, but I'm thinking if you can get 4 around that range, I think it puts them in a very, very favorable position going forward. And if they take care of business of the games that they should play well in the rest of the way, and maybe steal 1 or 2 against some quality opponents, but the opportunity is right in front of them now. At this point, top in the standings. Obviously, they've played a few more games compared to some of the other teams, but this is exactly where you want to be, tied for first overall. I mean, you can't do much better than that.
Yeah. So we'll welcome Lander. This past game against Georgia College kicked off a 4-game road home series for USCB. Lander comes to Finland on Wednesday, and then we welcome Albany State back down here on Saturday the 19th, where we will honor our senior class, which is pretty hefty, and we'll talk a little bit more about that after next Sunday on senior day, after senior day. And then we welcome Flagler on Tuesday. So there is a schedule change that was just confirmed yesterday due to games, trying to get everybody in a little bit, get a little bit of rest.
Everyone's scrambling. Everybody's scrambling because of the weather, so we've had to kind of mix and match. So that would be Tuesday the 22nd against Flagler. So make sure to at same time, 2:00 kickoff, or is there a different start time as well to that match?
No, it's still scheduled for 2:00. We'll get all that squared away. Once we have everything, we'll make sure that we make the social media announcement. But here it is, live on air. But let's transition to the racetrack real quick. USCB had a slew of teams come in, again, like we said, from D1 to NAI. Old NAI Sun Conference rival SCAD came back. But I mean, look at on the men's side. These are the teams that came in: Winthrop, Converse, Georgia Southern, Southeastern, USC Aiken, Erskine, SCAD, Newberry, Claflin, Mount Olive, South Carolina State, Fort Valley State, Voorhees, Savannah State. That was on the women's side, and then pretty much the same roster on the men's side as well, except for Northeast Technical College. That's a new school. That's an NJCCA team. So Good showing for USCB. The guys finished 9th, the girls finished 11th. Man, I'm hoping one day. I asked him before, but to get Elliot on here, he is putting together a solid freshman year. He's had set PRs in almost every single race that he's run, and then you've got your consistency with Sydney Stevenson, and then cross country. Obviously, the roster size is not as deep as the track and field side, and we'll talk more about that as indoor season gets kicked off here soon. But really, it's just we got to find the numbers and get those runners in because, Wes, I don't know if you've ever been to a cross country event, but that was my first one besides, a little dual meet here on campus. And that gets you fired up, man. Like all the streams and all the cheering. It was really cool.
I was a former cross country level or runner by high school level at Hilton High, and man, the adrenaline rush before a race, nothing like it. And just being there, I've been to a few cross country meets at high school level, and at the some road races over the years, and it's exciting, especially when the stakes are heightened when you get to the end of the season. But even in some of these other meets, the energy is it's all there. It's such a fun thing to be a part of, and to have one in the Low Country to be hosted to this caliber with some quality teams. It's great to see an event like this take place. You rattled off some of these teams, some Division I opponents like Winthrop, Georgia Southern. So some quality schools that showed out well on over the weekend. But for USCB, still a lot to be proud of in terms of their finish against some, as I said, some very good teams. And what a great event! And just great to have it once again back here this year. Sydney Stevenson with an excellent performance to pace the women's side. Just a fantastic event. And it means something to put on a USCB shirt or race attire, race shirt, whatever you call it, because it's
jersey.
Jersey. Yeah, you want to make your school look solid in an event like this, and you want to put on a good race, and these men and women certainly did that and competed hard. And you want to take some of the momentum as you get ready for the Peach Belt Championships coming up very soon for both the men and the women. So a terrific event. I want to give some shout outs to a few others. We said, I don't know if we mentioned it, but Winthrop, the women took the team title, and the individual champion Lauren Beatty from Converse with a 18:08. That is a 5K. It's a 5K time. So terrific results for her and for the Winthrop Eagles. And then the 8,000 men's juniors Converse took the team title over Winthrop, who finished second overall, and Darren Hines from the Winthrop Eagles with a 24:57, just over a 5-minute mile. So impressive stuff.
Fast.
Yeah, he was flying. And same thing for the guys. USCB delivered with some runners like Jacob Mitchell, a senior, who paced them with a 5:36 pace in just under 28 minutes. Jay King, Jeremiah Grant. Grant, just a freshman, put up a solid performance. So you see some of the youth showing out in this meet, and you see some of the guys that you want to rely upon going forward into this conference championship. So all in all, great day, fantastic morning turned to afternoon of Singing Shark Athletics, and just great to have so much action around here at home during the fall. So love to see that, and love to see the hard work of these cross country teams. I mean, this is the meat of the season, and you're getting to where you want to peak in terms of your performance, because you're getting ready for the biggest meet of the year in that Peach Belt Conference Championship, and you'd love to end the season on the right footing. So wishing them the best of luck as they really get down into it. This is the time of year you really start to up that train and get to the best shape that you're going to be in as you get to that championship meet.
Yeah, so they're going to do a makeup race or compete in a race to prep for. They were originally going to have this next weekend off, but they are going to travel back up to Spartanburg to compete in the Upstate Classic. I believe that's what it's called. Same course they've already run before. They ran it at the eye opener earlier this year, the first meet of the season. And then following that week, they'll head to Gainesville, Georgia for the Peach Belt Conference Championship. And then so myself, Gina, will be heading over to Gainesville to make sure we're supporting our team, get out there and with some teams on the road. That's going to be a good time to do that as well. So looking forward to Coach Terrica and the cross country team getting, one more meet in and before ready for conference. But let's move over to the links real quick. That's the other sport that's in season right now. They're non-championship season in the fall, but both men and women's golf are, coming. They've got one more tournament each to wrap up their fall, and they'll be played in the next 2 weeks each, or next 3 weeks. Excuse me. They both are off this week. So big shout out to the guys, though. That was something Coach Corey was really, really proud about with those guys. An 8 under round 3 score in the Hurricane Invitational. A solid slew of D2 teams there. A lot of conference teams as well. So we'll see them later this year or early next year in April. And it's really going to be exciting to see how they did that quintet of Ellis Bright, Nikolai Holm, Eric Rengart, Aaron Williams, and Eric Nord. Right now, I would expect those 5 to remain the same. And shout out to Eric. He led the whole team with Eric Nord. Excuse me, 2 Erics on there. The 1 under tournament score. He was
impressive.
He was great. So good, great job, guys. I can't wait to see you guys out on the course. I got to go do some video and some pictures with them the other day out at Hilton Head Lakes. A very Wes, I don't know if you've ever been out there, but it's they've got a very, very tiny par 3 course. It's hilarious. They got one hole that's like 37 yards away. It's a chip shot.
Nice.
But it's cool. It's a cool little experience. It was able to get a lot of content out there. A different scenic background other than Oldfield. So really looking forward to those out there. And also shout out to the girls as well. That
Leah Noble.
That lineup is still, they've climbed each and every tournament they've competed in right now, and it's really good to see. McLean Neal is the number 1. She's been out there doing her thing all year long. She's had one struggling round per tournament, but then she turns it around and picks it back up. Again, you look at who else is on there. Jessica Edwards, she has done a phenomenal job as well. She is, holding steady right there, just getting everything that she needs to get done. Jennifer Larson, another senior, she has been playing very consistently. She was telling me the other day, same thing. One bad round, kind of hurt her overall score, but still played a very solid final 2 rounds. And then freshman Cami Giordani, she's been playing every tournament, so she's out there doing her thing. And then we're still shuffling through that 5 spot. That 5 spot's been different every single tournament. Manon and Tatiana and Gudrun have all competed in that 5 spot, so that's really looking forward to seeing that competition because hey, that's 3 different golfers that you're keeping tabs on. So yeah, we're full-fledged into everything. Crossover season's about to happen. We're not going to talk too much about any other sport right now because it's going to be a short night. But men and women's basketball are in season now. They are full 20 hours practicing.
Nice.
And I'm telling you what, Wes, I can't wait to be out of the Cove. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to see it. So
yeah, it's going to be a blast. If year 1 was exciting, just you wait for what could be in store for year 2, especially with the jump that's possible on the women's side. I just feel like that team is going to take a giant leap forward this winter, especially with who they bring back, plus Lydia getting that full first year after kind of overseeing things while she was injured, but now getting that full first year. I think she's going to be a huge on-court addition for the Saint Sharks this year, and to bring pretty much your entire core back from a team that battled hard at the end of the year to pick up some gritty victories, and now you just continue to build on that with Coach Sharon Versip, who has certainly a big resume with what she has done as a coach over the years, and now getting this team for the second season. I'm very, very excited for what this women's team can produce, and then the men's squad, some new additions, but they're always such an exciting brand of basketball that they play. Such a tough conference, and there are a few wins that they were just almost were able to get. It just kind of slipped away. But I think that if a couple of those go in the other direction, especially with who they brought in, with some more help with size and some more big men coming in to produce and help in those sense of rebounding and defense, I think the possibility is right there for the men's basketball team to steal a few more victories this year and jump higher in this conference. It's definitely possible for just, and the energy that Coach Vidal has brought. It's so contagious, and it's so much fun being a part of that, and already counting down days until we get in the Cove to kick off year number 2.
Yeah, exciting times. Girls have a full roster plus the 4 they brought in, a lot of new faces on the men's side as well, but it's going to be an exciting time. But that's going to wrap up our episode 4 of season 2 of the Sand Shark Rewind. And as always, Wes, I appreciate your time, my friend. We will be back again next Sunday out here for another episode of the Sand Shark Rewind. For Wes Kerr, I'm Bracken Lambert, and make sure you always keep those fins up. Thanks, guys.